Hey everyone, welcome to Things Lucy Reads. I'm Luce and this is the third and final part of my August wrap-up. I only have 6 books to talk about for this video. 4 of them are graphic novels and the other 2 I will just talk about first because I actually DNF'd both of them, and those books are Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman and the prequel novella Voice of Gods. I requested Legacy of Kings on NetGalley and was approved for it. It was marketed as being a YA account of Alexander the Great's teenage years with some magic thrown in. And on the surface that sounds awesome, but I had a lot of problems with it. Alexander the Great is one of 5 main characters. The book doesn't even open with him. And I have so many terrible feelings about this book that I can't even articulate them. I only gave it 1 star. I DNF'd it at 32%. I will leave my Goodreads review down below because that just explains how I feel about it in detail, much better than I can do verbally. Basically, there were just some really big things that really annoyed me, and I didn't care enough to even read on and finish the book, which is so disappointing because I really love Alexander the Great and I was so ready for this book to be awesome, and then it was just everything that I was afraid that it would be. And I hated that so much that I couldn't even finish Voice of Gods. Even though I was enjoying it a little bit more, I just couldn't even deal with reading anything else that Eleanor Herman had wrote. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore, so let's get into the books that I actually enjoyed. Alright, so the first one that I read is The Wicked and the Divine Volume 2, Fandemonium by Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey. I do not have words to express how much I love this series. It is fabulous, and in this volume everything just gets so much more real and so much more twisty, and everything that you think you know about this world and how the reincarnation of the gods works is wrong, and it's fabulous. The next volume that I read is Batgirl Volume 2, Nightfall Descends by Gail Simone. I only gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I don't remember now why that is, but it was pretty good. Just not necessarily the best graphic novel volume I've ever read. I think I did leave a Goodreads review for this, so I will link that down below. There was a Batwoman cameo in this, which was pretty cool, and I did enjoy that. But just, yeah, all in all, this volume I didn't enjoy all that much, but I am enjoying this series in general. The next volume I read is Supergirl Volume 1, Daughter of Krypton by Michael Green, Mike Johnson and Mahmoud Asrar. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This was my first introduction to Supergirl. I didn't know anything about her at all. The extent of my knowledge thus far is this volume and the trailer for the TV show Supergirl, which I'm really excited for, by the way. Yeah, but that was okay because this was her origin story anyway, and I really enjoyed that. The only qualm I have about this is that I do not like her costume. It is super high cut over the hips. See, I don't know if you can see. Like, I guess that's for movement. Like, you can see it a bit on the front here as well. Like, I guess that's so she's got proper movement in her legs, but I just don't know why it is so necessary for her to show so much skin. Like, why are the male superhero costumes like full body lycra and the female superhero costumes are like skimpy nothings? Like, Batgirl and Batwoman I'm going to exclude from this because they have the full body lycra, but like Wonder Woman and Supergirl, skin hanging out everywhere. That can't be practical, especially if you're fighting. What the fuck? Like, and I know why that is. I know why female superheroes are over-sexualized. And I'm so glad that for the show, they've gone with like the traditional Supergirl uniform, which is like the long sleeve, just mini dress. I like that costume. There's some concept art in the back, and I really like this version of the costume. And I really wish that's the one that they had gone with because I just really don't like the look of the one that she's got. Like, seriously, one wrong move and she's going to be showing her vagina to the world. And it wasn't even just Supergirl. Like, the villain that she fights at the end had a really ridiculously sexualized costume on as well. Like, look at that. her boobs are not even actually in that bra top, and I don't know how she moves around the way that she does without them falling out everywhere. There's absolutely no support. It doesn't have straps. She's far too big for the cup size they've given her, and I just don't understand why you can't have a female character in a comic that doesn't have all her breasts hanging out. Or her vagina. What even? Seriously, go to a strip club if you want to see a naked woman, don't put it in your comics. What is wrong with people? Anyway, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. In spite of all that, it was a solid origin story, and I really want to pick up the rest of the volumes as well, because I think that despite the stupid costumes, they're going to be really good. And then the last book that I read is one that I don't want to talk about very much either. It is Batwoman Volume 6. Now, the thing about Batwoman is that she's a lesbian, and the original writers wanted to have her marry her girlfriend. DC was like, no, they can be together, but we're not going to let them get married. So, no. So, the original artist and writer walked, and they had to bring in a new artist and writer, and finishing off what the original one started in Volume 5 was okay, and I actually really liked Volume 5, despite the weird sex thing that happened with Kate and what's-her-face at the end. That was a bit weird. I generally really liked Volume 5. This one sucked. I made a big Goodreads review for this, which I will link down below, but this was the worst piece of comic I've ever read. They invented new monsters that weren't there before. All of a sudden, Kate was in space, her sister was back, there was no explanation for anything, and none of it made sense. And like, I'm so mad because Batwoman was always like a really, really smart comic series, and then this one is just like what you'd expect to find on Saturday morning cartoons. I'm so angry. I'm not even going to keep this volume, and I want to forget it exists. How dare they do this to my Kate? I can't even. Kate is the first superhero that was gay like me, the first one that I actually really, really connected with. She's the reason I got so much into superhero comics, and they ruined her, and this volume tanked predictably, and now they've axed this series. All they had to do was let Kate and Maggie get married, and the original writer and illustrator would have stayed, and it would have all been fine. But no, DC had to be assholes, and now there's no lesbians anymore. And I'm just so mad at them. That's all for this video, and I will see you when I see you. Bye everyone.